play every solo with just the blues scale, but there's so much more you can do. So today we're talking about playing with the changes, arpeggios, Mixolydian, Dorian, modes, all kinds of really cool stuff you can do so your solo follows those chords underneath, follows that harmony, and sounds more professional than ever. Printable tabs becoming a Patreon, links in this note. This specific lesson is pinned in the first comment of the comment section, and it has a backing track, but we're going to have all the tabs on the screen so you don't need them to learn. They just make it a little easier. My email's in the description if you want some one-on-one tutelage. Subscribe so you never miss a lesson. Ukulele Mondays and Saturdays. Let's do it. Grab the ukulele, brain and attention span, follow me on in, and let's break it down. First 4 measures up, they sound like this. Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. All right, so for years, I just used the A minor pentatonic scale for blues and A. And then later I discovered this cool passing note, that flat fifth. And that's the note that turns the A minor pentatonic into the A blues scale. That's also when I discovered, hey, maybe there's more to this than just this one scale. And so that's what we're doing today. We're exploring playing with the changes, or specifically things that we can do that really highlight the underlying harmony, the underlying chord. How we can play a lick when our friend is strumming A7 that really brings out the A7 in the lick, and the lick vice versa, I guess. Now this particular lick comes from the Dorian mode, and the Dorian mode is a minor scale but with some major ideas in it. So knowing that, when we do the rhythm, we're first going to do this first double stop, 4 triplets. 1 pola, 2 pola, 3 pola, 4 pola. And slide into it from half a step, from a whole step, from 1 fret, 2 frets, it's all good. Then we're going to go into eighths. So the second one is just 1 and. 1 pola, 2 pola, 3 pola, 4 pola, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. One pola, 2 pola, 3 pola, 4 pola, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Now, you can play these any way you want. 1 note at a time, 2 notes at a time, any rhythm you want. They just sound great over this A7 chord. The second time through, we're going to do triplets again. 1 pola, 2 pola. But then on the third and fourth beat, we're going to go into eighths. 3 and 4 and. 1 pola, 2 pola, 3 and 4 and boom. 9, 10, triplets. 1 pola. And then 2 and. 1 pola, 2 and. Down 2 frets. 3 pola, and then 4. And 4, I like to play staccato. Just give it a quick boop, and then release the pressure. 1 pola, 2 pola, 3 and 4. And 1 pola, 2 and 3 pola, 4. Sounds great, right? And this is definitely not the A minor pentatonic. This comes from the A Dorian again. And we're really just using basically the A minor scale. All these notes come from the A minor scale, except for this F sharp. And the F sharp is the 6th interval. And it sounds really, really nice when you play it over your A7. In fact, if you do the shuffle, that there is the F sharp. So we're just basically adding the shuffle note, and it sounds great. All right, the middle 4. Now, measures 5 and 6 are D7. And I used to always just do the A blues scale. And I just really emphasize the D note, and that works great. I don't mean to discount these strategies. because they all still work great and I still use them. I'm just showing you some other ways to play with the changes. And one of them here is the D Mixolydian. Now the D Mixolydian is a major mode with a flat 7. So essentially it's the major scale, but instead of this note here, it gets pushed down to this note here, the flat 7, and you get and that is perfect for the D7 chord. So when the harmony goes to D7, we use the D Mixolydian. Our phrase is going to sound like this. Sounds great, right? And I don't want to scare you with the D Mixolydian. We're going to keep it fairly simple. We're going to slide 2 to 5, sorry. F sharp, major third, and we're going to slide up 2 to 5. 6 on the offbeat, and then back to 2. 6 is your major third note. So 5, the A note, is the 5th interval. So far, they're all chord tones. 1 and 2. E is the 2nd interval, and it sounds absolutely fantastic over the D7 chord. Now we're also though going to hit that flat 5th that we were talking about earlier, because I'm going to go E, E flat, D. So I get 1 and 2, 3 pola. Pinky grabs the C string. The C string is the note that turns a D chord into a D7. Back to the 5th fret, back to the 8th fret, back to the 5th fret. 1 and 2, 3 pola, 4 pola, 1. And then we're going to finish it off 7, 5, 8, 5. Triple 2, and let that A note ring out. Now the A note is the root note of the key we're in, but it's also a chord tone of D. So we get that sounds so great. Mixolydian ideas, and they're really highlighting this D chord. Then the harmony goes back to the A. We're going to do this classic that highlights the change of the major third. Now this is one of the earlier times that I started playing with the change, was this particular concept here. The C note is in our A blues scale, but the C sharp is in our A7 chord. So what you can do, and you can do this anytime over the A7, is hammer C to C sharp. You can also give that C note just a little baby bend. It's called a blues curl. You don't have to go all the way to the C sharp, but it implies the C sharp, which sounds great. So you hammer on O to 1, and then you play the open high A string, and it's a triplet. Triplet, boom, and then 2nd fret on the G string, which sounds great if you have a low G. Triplet, bound, triplet, bound. And then we're going to just use the A7 chord shape. Here we're not doing scales, we're not doing Mixolydian, no modes. We're literally just taking the A7 chord, and so here it's 4, 3, 4. Boo, boo. It's an A7 without an A note. If you recognize the G7, it's just moving that up 2 frets. 4, 3, 4. Sounds again nice if you slide into it. And then we're going to do a triplet, 3 pola on the 4th beat, 8th notes, 4 and. Love that sound. 1 pola, 2, 3 pola, 4 and. And here we're just going to get cute, move it down a half step, and then right back up. That's just to add a little bit of dissonance. I stole that from Eric Clapton, who I'm sure stole that from someone like Buddy Guy or T-Bone Walker or something like that. So it's just 1 and 2, 1 and 2. So that would just be, so if you put that together from the top of the A7, you get triple 2, 3 pola 4, and 1 and 2. Love that. And then we're going to just do an A7 arpeggio. So now we have another technique. And that's just outlining the A7 by playing notes that are in the A7 chord. The A7 chord has an A note, root, C sharp major third, E is your fifth, and G is your flat seventh. Fifth fret here is an A note, root, E note, our fifth. I'm going to play the open C and hammer on the second fret to do that A blues scale, and then a note in our A7 chord, and then I'm going to finish on the A here. So I get triplet, 3 pola 4, 3 pola 4. So these two measures that are playing over the A7 are going to sound like this. 1 pola 2, 3 pola 4, and 1 and 2, 3 pola 4. Put those together, and even without someone strumming the chords underneath or without a backing track, you can still really hear the change from the D7 to the A7. I think I might have accidentally played an extra note in that triplet, but you still get the idea there. All right, so let's take a look at the turnaround. We're going to bring it up, and we're going to start off here, and it is an E7, and we're going to do E7 Mixolydian. That Mixolydian shape that I'm using sits right in this A shape. So earlier, sits all over that D7. It's going to sit over this E7. So as long as you know how to move this A7 shape, you know where the relative Mixolydian ideas are going to be. So here we're going to start 7th fret. And we go 7, 8, 7 in triplets, 9, 8, 7 in triplets, 10, 7, 10 in triplets, and then land on that 7. 1 pola, 2 pola, 3 pola, 4. Same exact idea down 2 frets. E Mixolydian, D Mixolydian. You can really hear that turnaround just in those two ideas. I'm going to play the open E and the open A together 2 times. 1 and 2. Then I'm going to pluck that A7 chord on the second beat. 1 and 2. Lift that up. Open A string. 3rd fret, 4th fret. Triplet. Then slide 4 to 2. Triplet. Open C, 2nd fret. And then boom. On the 1, I'm going to thumb on the 1st fret of the C string, and I'm going to pluck the E and the A together. So I get 1. Triplet, I'm going to slide 4 to 6. And then I'm going to lay my index finger on the 5th fret of the E and the A. So I can get 1 pola, well, technically 2 pola, 3, pluck all 3 together, up half a step, and up half a step, 4. It sounds so good. These 4 measures together, if I play these 4 measures together, I get this. If I play these 4 measures together, I get this. And then you're in the top, and that's the end of your solo. So there you have it, all those different strategies. Dorian double stops, Mixolydian over the D7, D Mixolydian, using the hammer-on of the major third, using the chord shapes, using arpeggios. We went through this whole solo and we never really used the A blues scale. So why don't we take it from the top and play the whole thing so you can see how it all gels together and sounds amazing. There you go, folks. That is how you play with the changes. That is how you do the A7 arpeggios, the Dorian, the D7 Mixolydian, the E7 Mixolydian, passing tones, double stops, using the whole chords, all kinds of cool stuff to make your solo sound more professional than ever and to follow that underlying harmony. New Ukulele Wednesdays and Saturdays. Subscribe so you never miss a lesson if you like this kind of content. Think about becoming a Patreon, cheaper than a cheap cheeseburger. And until next time, catch you on the flip side. Have a lovely day.